has been playing Mega Man for a really long time. I still remember Not Riley, in that hunt for sub 40, as our runners have both readied up and gotten started.
Yeah.
Not Riley, obviously, from there has gone on to play this game at AGDQ 2020. Not Riley is, one of those like long grinders, very consistent times. Darko, though, to your point, a great runner across the series as well. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows Darko can pull monster runs out of nowhere.
Right.
So we're definitely at a point in this tournament where, if nothing else, there are no free wins. If you have a problem, if you don't cut the 40, you are in danger of being knocked out.
Correct, yes. And as we see the races underway, we have both doing two different routes. I mean, there's really only two different routes in this game. They both come together after the second stage. So we see Not Riley doing Pharaoh first, Darko doing Bright first. They'll do the other stages next. So we'll see Darko and Pharaoh next, and Not Riley and Bright. But did you want to talk about a little bit about the minor differences between the routes?
Yeah. So Pharaoh first is currently the record route. Your advantage is that you're going to get that balloon early, which Not Riley did use coil to make sure he made that jump.
Yeah, really smart there.
And balloon could potentially be useful in Bright Man stage. I don't think Not Riley uses those strats in the Grasshopper rooms, but he will also have the Pharaoh shot for quick charges against Bright Man himself. Darko, on the other hand, is going to have the Flash Stopper from Bright Man at the first screen of Pharaoh Man stage. So all those bees that were making Not Riley maybe a little worried about that balloon jump, the quicksand, he had to navigate with all the scorpions, you're not going to see any of them on Darko's side.
Correct, yeah. And we'll see the differences between the Bright fights here if we watch Darko, and then we'll watch Not Riley do it next. But they both get into the Robot Master fight right about the same time.
Yeah, both of them just doing their thing.
Not Riley's fight... Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, Not Riley's fight is pretty standard against Pharaoh Man. You just kind of stand here, get your charge shots in, jump over his shots. That's pretty much it. But the Bright fight with the Buster is a little more involved.
Both fights with Bright Man, full charge Buster and full charge Pharaoh shot, both do 3 points of damage. You want to stay off of Bright Man landing on 16, 8, or 4 hit points remaining. That's why you saw Darko fire a lemon, completely uncharged shot into Bright Man halfway through that fight. So both runners basically doing exactly what they planned to do in that first stage. If anything, the only real time loss against anybody's PB is that Not Riley used Rush Coil for safety, but that's not too much time.
Right, and it's very smart to do so, because if you miss that jump, which is very easy to do, it's a very tough jump. It's a lot harder than it looks, like a lot harder than these guys make it look anyways on a normal day. But if you miss that jump, it's pretty detrimental.
Yeah. So you can see Darko here. You have Flash Stopper on that first screen. No scorpions, just sliding right through everything, no problem. This bee, whatever that bug is, just staying all the way to the left. Starts moving at the end, no big deal.
Yeah, and the Flash Stopper. Yeah, the Flash Stopper is something that we'll see throughout the Robot Master stages here. It is really, if you consider it a broken weapon, but it definitely helps us navigate through a lot of these screens as fast as possible.
It makes the list. And so Not Riley's on the Grasshoppers we were talking about. Pharaoh shot here, a little more powerful against a lot of these enemies. Gets a diagonal shot, so whereas Darko on the next screen especially had to get a precise shot or otherwise wait a little bit. You saw, you're going to see Not Riley use the charge shot there. Not using the balloons, because balloons can save time or can very easily send you to the spikes or crush you on the ceiling or any number of other terrible things.
Yes. But we will see the balloon being used from the third stage on, and it's a very useful utility to go fast. So we'll see a little bit of that actually in the next stage.
Yeah, Ringman, you see a lot of balloon. Skullman, we'll see a lot of balloon. Cossack stages, we'll see a lot of balloon.
Yeah.
So the only difference you're going to see here, Darko is going to go for the same thing Not Riley did against Pharaoh Man. Not Riley here is fighting Bright Man with the Pharaoh shot. The big thing here, that orb over his head, you're going to connect with that, and then you still actually have the full charge to connect with. So you get 2 hits for the price of 1 charge. It's a lot faster than just using the Buster. And you can see there just no problem at all. Darko, whereas they basically kill their first Robot Masters within a couple of seconds of each other, Darko, well, 6 seconds is a little more than a couple of seconds. But you know, Darko. Oh, Darko got the animation. No, he didn't quite get the animation skip. So we're gonna look for those things as we go too. When you kill the Robot Masters, everybody kind of knows in classic Mega Man games you generally want to be in the center of the screen to skip Mega Man walking to the center. Mega Man 4, if you are in fact perfectly centered, you skip Mega Man jumping, and that saves about a little more than a second every single time you do it. So look for it.
Yeah. And here we can see the balloon usage here. Normally you would have to climb up these ladders as the devs intended, but of course this is a speed run, so we're going to do anything we can to get around that. So you can see sometimes they're placing the balloon spray inside of the wall, so it's not actually spawning, but it does still allow them to jump off of it. So there's a certain window where the platform is still there as far as the game's concerned. So you can see that being used here, and we'll see that used a lot throughout the run here.
Yeah, it's a speed running eternity of 16 frames, I believe.
Yeah.
So it really is not that hard to go for it once you're ready for it. The hardest part is actually getting the balloon into a position where it will sort of be outside of the wall enough for you to land on, while still, despawning quickly. The main reason to despawn it, of course, is just lag. As they're doing this, you're seeing the runners skip by these hippos using the crazy KZ's boost on the spring mid-boss. Yes, that's going everywhere for Riley.
As far as Mega Man 4 is concerned, mini bosses are optional. So So for the most part, we'll see the runners just either damage boosting through the mini bosses or just skipping them entirely, or finding a way to kill them as fast as possible. But
yeah, we're seeing a lot of health drops for these runners too, which is kind of funny because I was going to say this is a stage that is very tightly routed on health.
You're right.
It's not uncommon to see a runner reach Ringman with 2 or 4 hit points left, and Ringman doesn't do anything that does less than 4.
Right. And under normal circumstances, when you're going for PB attempts, you hate to see those health drops because they do slow you down. But I think in this situation, the runners are probably okay with it.
It might not be, though. Darko got that large drop right on the ledge. You got to remember to jump all the way through it and not let go of the A button.
Yeah.
Certainly, Darko, they're both good runners.
Yeah,
and there's enough RNG in this game. You want every frame you can get.
That's true, and the ring fight is scripted, so if you do it the same way every time, you will get the same results. With that being said, especially in this kind of situation, it is easy to get off script, but as Mr. Cab alluded to, these runners are both very good. Both have been in these kind of situations before, so...
somebody's controller isn't going to betray them at some point. Not right. Pharaoh strats here.
It's always a thing.
So there's 2 methods to doing the first half of Dustman stage, Pharaoh and Bright. We're going to get to see both of them.
Yes, cool.
Bright, the sort of safer method here because you just freeze enemies. You don't have to deal with them. Pharaoh, the benefit of it is you kill the enemies outright. So if you do it right, you generate a lot less lag in the so-called lag room.
Yeah, and we'll see the difference here.
Almost no drops, and you can see Darko, the stream, is struggling to keep going. But I'm told it takes not even really a couple of seconds to do it.
Which is crazy, because if you're just watching it, like it looks like it's very significant too. But
so not really, with a very good fast crusher here. Darko going for it now. Darko using Bright in this section. Haven't seen that. I was gonna say he didn't switch away from Bright, so he got an extra refill that he might not have wanted. But looks like he had a plan. Got the large refill from Eddie, so that just slowed him down a little bit more. Not Riley actually picking up a lot of time in the stage doing the fast crusher strat, which is admittedly one of those sort of, if it's not top tier strats, it's a very risky strat that you want to be very comfortable with before you go for it. Very easy death there.
And so Dustman is one of the robot masters that can lose you a bunch of time due to RNG. I think we got one freeze there where he had the damage boost into dust. So Dustman can do this sucking attack, if you will, which makes him unable to be hit. So you either have to take damage into him or wait until it finishes. We can say he only Darko got 1 as well, so not too bad there. Obviously zero sucks would be the ideal pattern there on Dustman, but one is not bad.
Yeah, and the worst thing about these suck patterns from Dustman is contact damage with almost every Robot Master in this game does 8 points of damage.
Right.
Trying to finish fast because Not Riley is going for the skull zip here. The one zip we'll actually see in the run.
Yes, there it is. And save.
Very nice.
Was it about 5 or 6 seconds? Does it say?
I think it's in that range. Might be 7. Either way, they say a lot of the time save. It's not just going for that zip itself. It's that then you get to use Balloon the rest of the stage. So Darko, I don't know if he's just not comfortable with it, because if you miss it, it is a death.
Yeah.
But from there, the menu to it, you can menu to Balloon still and do a lot of these jumps, but you're only saving so much time. The next best thing to do is actually just switch to Bright immediately, because when you get to Not Riley's midway point here, you're just going to use it Bright anyway, and you've got plenty to spare. So Darko's going to just use that. Honestly, without Balloon, Bright is pretty much the backup for every section you would use Balloon in anyway. So
Yeah,
not a bad idea. The only thing is you're going to see Darko climb this long, long ladder instead of using balloons.
Right, exactly, yeah. Yeah.
You think we're going to see a Skullman stare down?
I hope not. But yeah, this game is pretty well programmed, whereas if you do get stuck on the wall, the game does kill you, so you don't soft lock, which is good for the game sense, but not always the best for us speedrunners, because it doesn't really allow us to abuse it too well, but it's the one instance where we're able to zip through that little wall there just fine. And
Iframes allow you to zip. Skullman, another completely scripted fight. In fact, Skullman takes no action on his own. If you just stand here to start the fight, Skullman will also stand there to start the fight. Skullman only reacts when you act. It's just that he won't do the same thing more than 2 times in a row. That's why you saw him jump in and go there.
And yeah, as we can see there, the only part of the RNG in the Skullman fight is how long he keeps his barrier up where you can't hit him. And as we saw on Darko's screen, it was quite a long time there. But
yeah, so between the strats in Dustman stage and Skullman stage, we're seeing Not Riley kind of pull slightly ahead. Darko not really doing anything wrong per se, just not doing things quote unquote optimally.
right.
And Darko definitely, I'm presuming, doing exactly what he set out to do here. He's playing his game, and that's what you want to see in a tournament race.
Exactly.
The Whale, the only mid-boss we sort of see in this game. Not Riley with that really short jump across the spikes, scaring me.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning about the flash stopper here is how it works is once you activate it, it freezes the enemies on screen. It also deactivates a lot of the enemies' shields, if you will, so you're able to kill them. Now, under normal circumstances, it only stays active for, I believe it's 5 seconds.
Roughly.
But if you're in a sliding animation, the timer does not run down. So, virtually, if you're in a slide the entire time, you could keep it active for an entire stage now. I mean, we don't see that exactly work out that way, but we'll see a lot of long screens where you'll see 1, maybe 2 activations where under, again, normal circumstances, it would have run out by then. So it's a really, really cool weapon.
Yeah, the last screen of Drillman stage especially is a great example of the more you can chain your slides together, the better it is.
It's a good test of your movement for sure, yeah.
It's Not Riley switching to Skull on the screen after Darko's on right now, which is a great shield weapon, actually. It doesn't fire anywhere, but it's still really good.
Not Riley had a little trouble on the fight. It looks like he was anticipating the missile maybe one cycle before.
I'm not entirely sure. I know he hit Dive Man's iframes at least once, maybe even
That could have
twice.
been it.
And part of that there is it's the strat. It is the faster strat to switch to Skull a little bit sooner, and lets you use an extra bright on another screen. But it gives you a little bit of an ammo problem, and you can see Darko here coming into the Dive Man fight with a full meter of Skull. Just has no problem. I guess tanking the missiles with his shield.
Yeah, he's going to pick up a little bit of time there too. But it also goes to show the experience from Not Riley again. He ran out of the skull weapon there, but he knew exactly what to do to finish off the fight. So
just as a great soft weakness for Dive Man. Buster's actually not a terrible choice on Dive Man either. It's only going to do 1 point of damage, but it's very easy to use. Not Riley getting a drop.
Yeah, and the Dive Man fight is pretty scripted as well. So
yeah, it has a similar boss AI thing.
Yeah, once you understand that and understand his patterns, it's not too bad. But yeah, we can see the drill stage here, or as some people will call the true dive man, as hopefully we won't see too much of. But
Dive man has a drill attack and drill man has a dive attack. What's going on? But you can see here, this is the Brightman stage where you just use Brightman on every single screen.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, this is Flash Stopper, the stage here, but
not Riley onto the sliding screen.
Yeah, so this is a real test of the movement here. So you can get through this entire screen with just one flash. So, but you can just see just how useful it is. Normally, these enemies are moving. You have rocks falling from the ceiling, but we didn't see any of that here.
You saw that enemy didn't even start moving until Not Riley was almost at the gate.
Right. So
that's extremely good movement.
Very good, yeah.
Darko get to it now because Drillman's gonna open this fight with a dive.
Yep. So he always starts with one dive here. So that's how he opens every single fight. So it's random. It's also I think it's proximity based as well. You can kind of control it to a point, but yeah. See, we got a dive there on Not Riley's side.
And there's a lot of robot masters in this game, like Pharaoh, like Dust, that based on how close you are to them, their AI is more likely to do different things.
Right.
And yeah, pretty good. One dive. Darko had a pretty good last screen. Ooh,
got a quick dive there, yeah.
So hopefully that's it. We don't want RNG deciding too much of this fight. You see the runners jumping to fire these dive missiles as well. The dive missiles have very interesting ideas of what it means to home in on a target. So, for whatever reason, jumping up and firing slightly above Drillman's head, the missile tends to go directly down into Drillman. Hits a little more often than not.
Yeah. Versus if you shoot it underneath, that you can sometimes it'll circle around before it finally makes contact. But this first screen on Toadman stage here, which is the last Robot Master here, we'll see is another test of just the great movement with the Flash Stopper. So you can see all these enemies frozen. You won't even see this enemy move by the time he reaches the screen transition. So that's
you can just kind of see through internet compression and everything else, the raindrops pushing to the left. There is rain on the screen. You are affected by the wind, so jumping across these relatively small 2-tile gaps is incredibly hard to do.
It's also incredibly stressful.
Yeah, those are some of the hardest jumps in the game, and they shouldn't be, but they are.
So there I'll use saw as a very loose term, but we saw the Not Riley skip the mini boss there. We didn't actually see the mini boss because if you use the Flash Stopper before he spawns, you're able to essentially damage boost through the non-existent sprite and skip the fight entirely. So
yeah, that second one a little trickier. There's a soft lock possibility if you have already died in the stage, but just hold left there. You either want to get a back boost, so you want to tap left for that anyway, but holding left will make it so that if you do fall in the streaming water, you won't get pushed off the edge. Toadman's the impossible boss. He has an attack that hits the entire screen. It's just that he'll never use it if you keep shooting at him.
Yeah. Yeah, not really much to say about that fight. I mean, you stay close to him, keep shooting him, and he'll just keep jumping back and forth.
Yeah, very good 8 robot time from Not Riley. So, I mean, the Toadman fight itself, you're going to see Darko jump and shoot, so Toadman's going to jump straight into this bomb. And from there, it's just turn and shoot at him. Toadman will stay in place, I think, for at most 3 of the shots. You just want to get him centered, because we didn't mention it at all, but when Robot Masters explode, the fanfare doesn't sound until all those bubbles leave the screen. So the closer to a boss is to the center of the room, both vertically and horizontally, really, but you can only control so much.
Right.
The faster those bubbles will leave, and you can move on with the game.
Yep, and as pointed out in chat here, so about 25 seconds between the two going into the second half of the game here.
Riley does not want the free tank. There is an E-tank in the snow on the left. Takes like 2 seconds to grab, but they want every second.
Yes. Especially, and he must know, going against an opponent like Darko. Again, their PBs are actually, they're really close. I mean, separated by, I think, about 25 seconds, actually, which is kind of funny. But, anything
under 19 to get past Toadman is pretty good.
Right. Yeah, anyone who knows Darko knows that, you know, he's always in it. So you always have to be on your top here. So
Darko can use Bright on this first screen, which is it's, you know, the menu is the only reason it's really slower. But certainly it is the best safety available for a lot of these things.
yeah, I'm assuming he's going to use it coming up here on the screen as well.
It does actually make that second screen a little faster because you have to kind of delay to make things vulnerable. The one thing, like using Bright on this screen, I guess, is also very safe. You do want to be a little careful killing the Skulljoes and then sliding through them to jump, just from a usual sort of, if you get a drop in front of a ledge, watch your jump timing. So it's an extra menu. That's the biggest loss out of that, but it's extremely effective.
Fairly safe and seems pretty consistent for.
Not Riley just obliterated the boss.
I was going to say before we even had a time to talk about it, Not Riley is finished with the boss there.
That's good.
So, well, we'll see Darko here.
Small weapon hitbox equals trickier shots than you would think on this boss.
So that's interesting. So the ring weapon looks like its hitbox takes up a really, you know, significant amount of the screen, but it's, what is it, like 2 pixels wide total, I think, or something like that. Something silly. So it's really, you have to really aim your shots well, and the moth is moving up and down to it, and the moth's hitbox is only in that small little orb in the center there. So
this is Cossack 2, and this is the reason. This, I feel like, is like the real other reason to get Balloon other than Skullman stage and Ringman stage and a couple other spots. But that first screen there, it's intended you jet that screen.
Right. And
you can do it, and it takes a while. This screen here with the little spike blocks, there are other ways to get through it. That screen there, that last screen with that weird set of blocks, Balloon saves like a year on that screen.
Yeah. I mean, really, just look at the entire, like...
Oh, Darko. Hang on there, NES. You can do it.
I feel like we've seen this before from Darko in a... it was either a relay race or something. He was able to finish his run of, I think it was Mega Man 3 with under similar circumstances. So.
I mean, anybody who's owned an NES long enough has been in this situation as Not Riley gets a 3 pattern to start Square Machine, where you just kind of have to know the game and see enough of what's going on to continue. And these are some of the greatest clips you'll ever see when you see a runner kind of fighting through the NES failing.
Yeah.
Good first phase for Riley. He gets the 3x1.
Yeah, so the Square Machine here, as it's called, when it starts, but it does some passes. It can either do 1 pass, 2 passes, or 3 passes. We saw 3 on the first time, 1 on the second one. Obviously, 1 is the fastest, so 3-1 is, I think you'll take that under any circumstance here.
So here's a little thing you don't see very much on Darko's screen. You can see like the entire middle section moving slow and fast, and Darko not able to realize there when he was inside or outside the Square Machine. But these bosses are background objects. You can kind of see how fast it's moving based on how much the rest of the screen's moving. It's actually kind of funny when you get to things like this. Wait till we get to Big Met Daddy, actually. But Darko fighting through this. It's actually also a pretty good job. I think the biggest problem is I have no idea how much health Darko has.
It looks like it's about a third of the way up, but yeah, it's really hard to tell. I mean,
is his health or is that his dust? I guess that is his health.
Not sure. The more I look at it, the more.
Yeah, that was his health. And that was his health.
I think we took a death there. Yeah, it's really unfortunate for something like this to happen. Really hate to see it.
Yeah, so not having a lot of Balloon left, he has enough, I guess, to continue from there. Not Riley's in the auto-scroller now. Not sure if Darko was trying to double back, wasn't sure where he was.
Wow.
How he knows where Rush Coil is right now is a mystery. So not Riley. I mean, we're not trying to completely ignore this great run he's on here. It's just that is an auto scroller. You're basically killing enemies as fast as you can to reduce lag, and getting at least 1 refill in the middle of the stage. I'm pretty sure. to get ammo, because like a lot of classic Mega Man games, you don't get your ammo back between stages in the castles.
Right.
So weapon management is important. That's kind of why Darko is in a little bit of a tight spot here. Fortunately, Balloon and Dust, there's plenty of extra drops available for Darko. I think that's a 3 again.
Yes. Yeah, there's one extra big refill in
Riley, why?
And,
he almost got shunted to the left by that platform at the top of the screen.
Yes, that can happen, and it can happen very easily. I've been on the receiving end of that, and it's very frustrating. It's really, yeah. There's no coming back from a death in this stage, basically, because you can see how long it takes. There's no way to speed it up really either. But here's the boss fight of Cossack 3. Very particular set of shots here. You can see the double. She killed the first form, got the shot in the second form at the bottom there with a well-placed charge shot, and before I can even finish talking about it, he's already through the fight. So really, really great fight there from Not Riley.
You need that, like you said, particular sequence of shots to open the fight, just so that last shot at the top one will strike the bottom one. You get a double hit out of that and save some Pharaoh. Because Pharaoh, in a your record level speedruns of this game, you're basically out of Pharaoh at the very end of everything.
Right.
I think Darko's doing this specifically so we can't see the unhappy clouds in Cossack 3. He gets the nighttime version.
I think I like this version better, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. But let's see Not Riley going through Cossack 4 here. Not really much to say about this stage. Yeah, it's you kind of just go through it, right?
Someone even said it's not even a stage.
Yeah, it's more of like a an elaborate screen transition, yeah.
It is worth noting that I think this is one of the first instances of a Mega Man game having a branching path in a stage. I'm like trying to remember where there is one before that.
Yeah, you might be right, actually, yeah.
That bottom path there definitely a little faster. You saw Not Riley grab an E-Tank that, again, almost no time to get it. And I like these glowing clouds on Darko's side as Not Riley's coming into the Cossack catcher.
Yeah, and for anyone just joining, unfortunately, Darko is having a bit of a graphical issue with his console, I'm assuming. So it's causing the screen to look like this. So
really taking an extra hit here.
So about
Darko,
yeah, but
Darko's a lot of drops as well.
It's about the Cossack catcher there. You see Not Riley on the side of the screen there, just sliding as much as you can between the shots, and as doing that, it basically prevents Cossack from moving left and right, so it kind of keeps him in one place, so you can easily just kind of get through that fight.
Yeah, it completely stops his attack pattern too, so like he won't even be firing shots. He won't dive and try and get you with the crane game. Oh my god, it's Wily! But yeah, sliding and doing that. Buster takes a little... I feel like it takes slightly longer to kill him than using like a soft weakness or an actual weakness like Dust. But you are doing the same amount of damage. You don't have to refill any special weapon as a result. It's that level of combination of tactics.
Yeah, and as we can see, on Darko's side of the screen, he's gotten this boss pattern down pretty as intended.
Killed the Atari version of the...
Yeah. All right. So Not Riley's onto Wily 1.
Stage, the Let's Go Met stage.
Yes. Now these Mets, they either take one shot or 3 to kill. The ones that take 3 do spin around when they come out. So you have to, just knowing which ones, I mean, it can be tough at first, but once you know which ones require which amount of shots, you get through it pretty easily. But then we get to the underwater section here, which is just... It's just always scary.
We didn't mention it in Dive Man stage, I think, but for whatever reason, you can't jump out of slides in Mega Man 4. So this little screen is here just to mess with you before we get to Yoku Block screen.
Right.
Going for the slide strat across that room. Nice.
Very nice, yeah. Alright, this is the final stretch of Wily 1 here for Not Riley. Keeps the jet out here just to save time on the menu because you can just take out those Mets as you're sliding through.
Got a Buster, use it.
All right. We're onto Metal Daddy. So we're going to use the Ringman. Ringman's weapon is pretty useful in the late game here, as I feel like most of the bosses are weak to it. So
Yeah, the Moth is weak to it. Big Met Daddy's weak to it. Taco Trash is weak to it.
yeah. So as you mentioned before, your ammo preservation through these late stages does become very important. We can see
Darko's fighting a Metroid.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like the end of a power cord right now. Like it's something
when it comes down,
trying to plug something in. And you can see again like the background elements of the game because whenever Cossack moves, you see all those pixels together moving on the top.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah,
it's weird graphical stuff you get to.
It gets through. Kalinka looks like a pop version, Funko Pop version of herself there, but. And
Metroid door flying around for Darko.
Yeah, so not only is the game glitched out, but he has actually transcended into another universe altogether. So
we fought a Metroid. There's a blue Metroid door.
But
this is a. I haven't seen this randomizer crossover yet.
No.
It's not Riley and Wily 2 here. He is just destroying this game. This is the Rush Jet stage, as we call it. Rush Jet the stage. There's a couple of jumps as you go along where Rush makes things easier, like that one right there. This
one here, yeah.
Where
that jump's a lot harder than it looks too. So.
Yeah, especially to do it as fast as he just did it.
Yeah.
And much like the end of Wily 1, you have the Buster, so use it. You just have to summon Rush, and you have your Buster.
Yeah, and you use it throughout the entire stage.
It's just a matter of saving ammo, saving menus. That's what you're really doing, saving menus.
Right. And then, so we'll see when Not Riley enters the boss door, he's going to jump through the boss door and shoot a rain flash here. And what that's going to do is going to do damage to the boss right as you enter, which cancels the refill, or the initial fill of his health bar, which does take a very long time in Mega Man 4. So it's pretty good save time there to do that. He's low on health. See if he uses that E-Tank. Yep. That's why he grabbed it there. Perfect. There's another strat you can do on that boss where if you use a drill to open the fight, you kind of just break his hurt box, so you're able to stand within his sprite and just do damage from the backside of him. But it's a little bit slower.
Yeah, there's 3 spots you could hit it. If you hit Taco Trash at the very top, you don't destroy it at all. If you hit at the bottom, you don't destroy the part you have to jump into to hit him. So Big Daddy met restoring some sanity to the universe, although it looks like Dr. Cossack's hiding inside of the Met. I don't know what's going on there.
Not Riley's coming into Wily 3, which is, as any Mega Man fan would know, is the classic refight stage. So we'll fight all the Robot Masters that we have fought already once before. There's a bunch of refills here. You can see him picking up particular refills to refill certain weapons that he's going to need to do these refights too. And there's a very specific order you want to do the refights in, which basically just eliminates as many menus as possible as well.
One of the things I really like about the Mega Man 4 refights is that you do kind of take weapons between fights. You start ending one fight with one weapon and opening the next fight with the same weapon. So here, it is worth mentioning too, Pharaoh Man and Dust. Dust is a soft weakness. His true weakness of the Flash Stopper is really slow to kill him with because you only do 1 point of damage at a time, even if it's an extremely safe, casual fight. It's very good. But we want to go faster than that.
Yeah, and also you only have enough ammo to do about like half of the Pharaoh Man's damage with the Bright Stopper, so it's... But yeah, you can see exactly. So he used Dust on Pharaoh, Dust on Skull. We're gonna switch the Skull to take out Dive Man, and then he'll open the next fight up with the Skull Barrier too against Bright Man, which yeah, is really cool. You also want to try to kill Robot Masters as close to the left side as possible, so you're right either on the teleporter itself or right next to it.
Get out of there before those bubbles start lagging the game too much.
Yeah.
So I've got to call you on it. You can completely obliterate Pharaoh Man with the Flash Stopper.
Is that right?
Yeah, because you're only hitting him with the lemons. It's not like Quick Man and Mega Man 2 where it just drains and does the damage directly.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah. Flash Stopper will freeze Pharaoh Man in his tracks, and then you just pummel him with the lemons, and it's just that you're doing 1 point of damage per lemon at a time.
Right, okay.
Yeah, 1 point of damage there to Drill Man to open the fight with that last Rain Flush, which is why they hit Skull Man's weapon against Bright Man to save Toad so that they can do that here. Because dive missiles only do 3 points of damage, and Drill is diving too much to get away from the dive missiles. So that the dive missiles don't drill into Drill Man before he dives. Have I carried this on too long?
No, that was perfect.
Okay. But yeah, it's 3 damage each. He would be left with 1. The Rain Flush does 1. There you go.
Yeah. So it's one of those cool things where it seems really insignificant. Like, yeah, do 1 point of damage with the Rain Flash while he's diving, but it saves an entire shot. So it's very cool. The Ringman fight and the refights is, again, scripted, but it's a little different because you can't come in charging, so you have to do it just slightly modified than you do the first time, so we'll see that here. But, you know, essentially the same fight, though. And again, try to kill him as close to the left as possible, which does perfectly there.
Yeah, just the last few fights here where they're really just disconnected from the rest, although ending on Dust means we can stay on Ringman because there's another boss that's weak to Ring after this.
Go figure, yeah. Good pattern there for Dust, man.
There is a new, and Baron Haynes is out there in chat and can speak to it more. I'm going to call him out just slightly. But there's a lot of research going into it right now for refight, you know, saving a second or two. And Darko looks like he's going for it because you enter the refights, or potentially can, from refilling Ring and the rest of the stage. Why not switch off of Ring and open the refights on the other side of things with the rope, the ones that are not connected anywhere? Was not Riley out of Ring?
Honestly, I wasn't watching. I was too distracted by what was going on Darko's screen. But a little low on health there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning too that even after you kill the machine there, if one of his orbs is still on the screen, you can actually take damage from it still, even after the death, and you can potentially get a double KO there. So very mindful there of not Riley to jump over that last one there.
Go busy fighting the sort of cardboard cutouts of Robot Masters here.
Yeah, so as we see, Not Riley is coming into the last stage here. I'll take on the Wily Capsule. A really good pace. This is a really solid run overall from Not Riley.
It should be a 38 unless catastrophe happens.
Right. Pretty low 38 too.
So, you know, you see it there. We kind of mentioned it earlier. You got to watch out for the Pharaoh ammo. Nice double hit. Again, getting these shots with the shot over the head as well as then the actual shot. Takes 5 full charge hits.
Oh, tries to sneak in that double there, but should be able to finish it off here. Oh, spawns right on top of him. Beautiful. GG to Not Riley with a 38-19.
Very nice.
I think most runners would take that in a tournament or a race situation. So
we've seen a few 37s over the last week, but a 38-19 is nothing to sneeze at. Very nice.
Yeah, really clean run, and honestly, what is it? I think it's about 17 seconds off of his PB. So yeah, you can't really ask for more than that.
Yeah, that's great. That's normal timing, if we can call it that, I guess. It's US timing. So we split on the last hit. JRTA goes to the end of the fanfare, so sometimes you see runners split there, and it's just another, like 17-ish seconds. So Darko here, just watch this rain flush really fast, everybody.
It's like a rain of arrows. This isn't. Oh, you can actually see Drillman hanging out at the bottom of the screen there.
He doesn't move. He teleports. He's not like shifting underground. He's just hanging out there.
It's amazing.
Is this cheat? No, it's not actually cheating. It's just fun.
Yeah, again, it is unfortunate. You hate to see this happen, especially when these two runners are so close together as in their PBs, and we're so close together after leaving the Robot Master stages to have something out of their control, kind of. I don't want to say dictate the race because it could have ended up the same either way, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, the Square Machine kind of doing in Darko, just not able to really recover from that. Although you get to see Mega Man's face a little bit here as he dodges the blocks of the reboot show badness.
Really good fight there, though.
That was really good. As soon as it disappears, it's all over.
All right.
Should be a mid 41 for Darko.
Good...
I mean, the one thing you could say is not Riley. You could tell he was roughly 26 seconds ahead, or maybe a little bit more than that, even coming out of the 8 robots. Yep. Not Riley just killed it, and I don't think he was looking back too much. Although you always get to wonder, did he know Darko was in a little bit of trouble, and that let him play a little fast and loose?
Yeah, it's you hate to just have just some kind of question in it. I mean, honestly, it'd be tough to see it going any other way. The race, it would have been a lot closer, but you just hate to see something like this happen. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen here. Yeah, so I comment in chat to see if so Wily's been turned into just a small little square of himself. So wow. And that was also a very quick fight.
Darko destroys the Square Machine and restores Mega Man to a viewable format.
Oh, man. Well, GG to Darko, either way, for finishing that out. Is like I said, I've seen it once before from him during a Mega Man 3 run. I think it was during a relay race. I don't remember exactly, but it's always impressive to see somebody who knows their games that well that they're able to finish under those circumstances. So GG's to Darko as well.
Yeah, GG's to Darko. We've got the follow links out there in chat. Follow Not Riley 4 and Darko. If you're watching this VOD later, it's Darko_RTA. Follow both runners. This was great, and it does look like we have Not Riley here in the booth. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Yes, GG indeed. Yeah, incredible run there. Like I was saying earlier, it was only 12 seconds off of your PB. How were you feeling after the Robot Master stages? Because after the Robot Master stages, you had about a 25-second lead. So how was your thought process then?
I felt really good. Like I said, I practiced last night. It was not going very well, so I kind of like the last race. I did really bad the night before and kind of calmed down and kind of took it easy today. But
yeah, and I'm trying to think back. I don't remember seeing really any major mistakes, if any at all. Were there any points of the
thing I can point to is that you actually needed the E-Tank on Taco Trash, but if that's the worst thing to say about a run.
Yeah,
it got kind of worse for me too because I was on PB pace, so I was trying not to focus on the PB pace part of it, but it's still a race.
Right.
It was tough to I got off kind of balance on that Taco Trash fight and didn't want to die, so I just used the E-Tank, and I'm glad I got it.
Yeah, and the other thing too, it was during the Dive Man fight too. Did you just run a little short on ammo? Did you hit him in the iframes during one of the shots, so you had to switch over to Dust to finish it off?
Yeah, I hit him in the iframes, and then I was trying to kind of get the missile away so I could hit him without switching. I ended up hitting the missile, so I switched to Dust to finish him off.
Yeah. And it goes to show, we were talking about this earlier, just about your experience with the game. You've been playing this game for a really long time. You're very familiar with not only the strats that you're trying to do, but backups just in case they don't go as planned. So it was very quick reaction, able to finish it off without a problem. So that was very well done.
Thank you.
So with this, you're into the round of 8. We get the AGDQ rematch here. You and Sage Hero. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping once I figured out we were 4 and 5, and not really as a rivalry thing. Like we've raced against each other in several events, like the was it the relay last year in May, and yeah, AGDQ we raced in the relay, so I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. It's also worth mentioning now that the going forward, the tournament will be best of 3 instead of best of 1. So, is that you think that'll change your approach to the next round? That it is a best of 3, or do you think you'll just continue to prepare how you've been doing it?
I kind of put some thought to it, and I kind of wondered if I would take it kind of easy on the first run, and if by chance I won the first one, I would go a little bit more aggressive on the second, just because I didn't have much to lose. And then maybe if it goes to 3, then kind of tone it back or whatever.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. It should be a very good competition between you two. As you've mentioned, it's been something that you guys have revisited in the past. So, well, again, GG, not Riley. Amazing run there. Like I was saying, I mean, I think most of these runners would take a 38-19 at any point of this tournament. So congratulations on moving on to the next round. I believe that's all that I have. Mr. Cav, do you have anything else you wanted to add?
Don't leave us just yet, not Riley. I did want to throw out there that Darko's in IRC, in Speedruns Live, just said he's going to pass on the interview. He's just happy that the cart was playable, as it turned out.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
So for Not Riley, the last question, did you see what was going on Darko's stream?
Yeah, I always have to watch just to kind of see where I'm at. But yeah, he was doing so well until that happened, I think, and it's a shame it happened. But yeah, he did a good job finishing out, like seeing shapes and objects.
What is your favorite graphical artifact you have ever seen in an NES game going crazy?
I don't know.
Okay, if you don't have.
I don't know. That Med Daddy was wild.
Yes. All right. With that, I guess we'll let everybody get back to their Tuesday afternoon or whatever time of day it happens to be.
Yeah. So thank you again. Thanks, Not Riley, for joining us. GG again. GG to Darko as well. 2 amazing runs there. Quick thank you for everyone in chat. Thanks, guys, for watching. Stay tuned right here in SpeedGaming. The rest of the tournament will unfold here. And thanks to everyone at SpeedGaming too for allowing us to do this here and show off this game, show off the community. And thank you, Mr. Cap, for joining me today.
Thank you, KLM.
Yes, everyone have a good day.